that's a great...
This kind of technology, you have competitors coming in.
Of course, and that's a great example. For our projections, we're looking at approximately 30 companies out of over 300 smaller players within the market. We are, of course, going to target the larger players, such as Weber and Charbroil, but we do not depend on the success with them. If we are successful in able to penetrate their market, the growth projections would be enough where we could have an exclusive license with them and return even greater value. Currently, there is a need identified by the smaller players to be more competitive on the larger scale market, and they are looking for a powder coating alternative. No other sources have arrived as of this point in time, and they are looking to innovate in that space.
Can I expand from Kun Gopkan's question? Just only talking about the grill market, which is the first thing that you plan to do. Can you explain so that we understand better in terms of the value that would, or the cost reduction, or the value added that would happen, because you're actually, you sell the solution, and it goes to your direct customer is the heat facilities, right? That's what you talk. Who will sell to the grill?
So we actually...
manufacturer.
It depends
and
on...
how could things be understood and realize the cost savings step by step?
Jeff, I can take that one.
Yeah.
So you can see here the outline of the grill savings. As we talked about, there's two components. So the first component to the grill savings is replacing the powder coating, which currently costs $1.50 per square foot. Our product can be applied for 63 cents per square foot. So an 87-cent savings times the average grill size. And again, we're coating the inside of the grill. So the flame tamers, the inner barrel, basically anything that gets hot other than the grates. And we can treat the grates too, but because of the sensitivity to food, we don't want to start off treating the grates. So 155 square feet, you have a savings of approximately $135. And then the second component to that is that they can use a lower grade steel inside, just like the heat exchangers, saving approximately $15, and that's where the 150 comes from.
On applying the solution, at what temperature does it become an alloy?
900 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay. Is it food safe?
Yes.
Can it be applied by a consumer somehow?
By consumer, what do you mean? By like?
I have a barbecue at home. Can I have some solution?
If you had a furnace that could go up to 900 degrees Fahrenheit, a vacuum furnace that was able to do that, so
Well,
I'm sure
would something that I burn in there get to those kind of temperatures?
Pardon?
Would something that I burn in there get to those kind of temperatures? Can I put charcoal in there, which will take me to... I work in centigrade, I'm sorry.
Sure. In all practicality, it's not a direct-to-consumer product for sales. The tools required, consumers don't have them. Heat treat facilities do. So even if it did reach the temperature required, it needs a vacuum furnace. So no, direct-to-consumer is not an option.
Do you have the health safety standard or that kind of thing? Because maybe this kind of product might require.
Sure. So we've talked to the NSF in the United States, and they've confirmed that this is not toxic. The MDM rating for it is non-toxic. It's a rare earth element, so you might feel nauseous if you ate it, but there's no negative effects to it.
You'd feel nauseous if you ate any metal.
Let me jump in. In terms of testing, you mentioned that you've had 4,000 hours of testing already on 75 different types of steels. How close are you to commercial introduction? How much more testing do you think needs to be done before you're ready to have a barbecue manufacturer apply your product?
So in terms of the proven nature of the technology, we're very confident that it's been proven. Not only did the NETL verify the results, these white papers have been circulated throughout the industry experts in metallurgy in the United States. The R&D 100 award verified that this is commercially applicable. In addition to that, we've talked to Mac Grills, Evo Grills, and Twin Eagle, 3 local regional players who have all expressed interest in applying this product as soon as we have the development license in June.
Can we go to the financials part?
Of course.
because I read your business plan. It says that you have to pay an ETL 5% of sales, but I can't find that in the income statement. Where is that 5%? At the same time, your gross margin jumps up significantly, which is too good to be true for any business. It starts 1 year at 20%, goes up to 50%, then to 70%, to almost 60%. But I can't find the 5% in ETL. Is that net of sales, or where is it?
I'll tackle you the first question for the royalty fees. Since we've actually put out that plan, it's approximately in the 3 to 4% range, and we have factored it in, I believe, in the cost of goods sold, and it's directly related to the number of units sold on an annual basis. In terms of the actual gross margin, as my colleagues have mentioned, this solution is very simple to produce. Right now, the raw materials that we are putting in, the cerium oxide for the rare earth metal, is readily abundant in multiple mines in multiple countries throughout the world. Historically, the prices have been consistently low, and the next 5-year projections, they anticipate them decreasing significantly. That contributes to the bulk of our increase in the margins over our projected 5-year financial statements.
My questions on the gross margin jumps. Is it because you are selling at a higher price, at a higher volume, but it's scalable because you sell more, because you produce liquid, correct? So it needs to go accordingly, but all of a sudden you sell more. It's because you price more, higher price each year, or to different markets, or how does it achieve?
We've held our prices consistent across all 3 markets because we do not want to get into trouble with any potential customers about trying to undercut one or the other. It's a constant price regardless of application. The margins do increase as the cost of our raw materials go down, as I said, and also the production efficiency should help us refine our operational process and reduce our waste as we ramp up our operations.
But this, I think, may be related to what I have asked you before, because if you go for the barbecue, which is a consumer product, they always ask for cost down all the time. Because if you don't come with a new technology, you come up with the same one year by year, you need to lower the price. The market will force you to do that.
I completely agree with you on that one. Our price is actually currently lower than the raw powder coating price for what they're currently paying. And additionally, we've identified some proprietary items that we can add into our solution that will not change our cost structure in terms of production, but should give us a competitive advantage over the next 5 years. In just the barbecue industry alone, we feel that that can differentiate our product significantly from the powder coating or other alternatives.
With the key factor of price of raw material as the factor to make your profit jump, as discussed, is this the commodity that you can sort of, because you expect a big decrease, is that any way that you can forward the contract or anything to lock in the price or anything?
As far as I am aware, there are no futures market in the cerium oxide, and we do not have any option plays available to us. However, we can enter into long-term agreements with suppliers such as Molycorp within the United States and lock in prices that are directly related to the market price for cerium oxide. They have forecast that their prices will go down, but even if they stay consistent, our solution remains economically viable to produce. The long-term contracts will just give us a better advantage and better pricing, especially as our volumes increase.
Just staying with the barbecue for a second, you said that it's less than $1 per square foot that they would be spending. One of the things of price sensitivity, and I can understand what the lady mentioned, but what is the percentage of their cost? Your product, is it 1%, less than 1%, more than 3%? What is the impact to them?
Sure. The raw material costs, and forgive me, we didn't highlight this before, if you look across the 3 markets, in barbecue grills, we're saving them 20 to 30% of their raw material cost. As you move up in scale in the market.
No, you're talking about when compared to the coating.
Correct.
I'm talking when compared to the cost of the barbecue. See, if I'm making a barbecue and your cost is less than 1% and you double your price, I don't really give a damn.
Yeah.
Okay? But If it's 10%, then it becomes very important. So all I'm asking is, I can understand in a turbine engine, if you give it at this kind of price, it's a nothing cost, you know? But if you do it to a barbecue, I don't know.
So we talked to Mac Grills, and they told us that on a $1,500 to $1,800 grill, about 20% of that is the powder coating process.
So you expect yours to be about 15, 16%?
10 to 20% of that.
Yeah, okay. Then you can't increase your price.
Okay, well, at this point, I'd like to talk to you about our financial needs and how they tie into our sales and market cycles. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to put $100,000 of our own equity, get skin in the game, and take an ownership percentage so that we have an invested interest before we take on any outside equity. We will pay the final payments to the NETL development license in the middle of this year, and after that, we will pull first tranche of $500,000 to help us ramp up operations and reach our first sales in the barbecue market through identified players such as Mac Grills, Evo, and Twin Eagles by the end of this year. Looking forward to 2013, our operations in the grill market will ramp up, and we would pull our second tranche of $500,000 in order to make sure that we are sufficiently capitalized in order to enter the high temperature heat exchanger market and ramp up operations and production accordingly. Our first sales would come towards the end of 2013 in the heat exchanger market. Our break-even sales, for everything combined, we would hit break-even sales around 2014, and our first sales within the turbine market would hit towards the end of 2014. So in terms of the investment opportunity, we are seeking a $1 million investment in external equity that would be pulled into two tranches, as I just explained. We would offer a 35% equity stake in the company. So what value does this return to the investors? Well, in 2017, our estimated valuation is $70+ million. The values are based on EBITDA multiples and comparable acquisitions within the space from players such as Valspar, Ashland Inc., which are chemical specialty manufacturers in the States, and General Electric, who could be potentially one of our largest customers. General Electric's mandate, for example, is to search for bolt-on research and development technologies that can advance their core competencies. In terms of value provided back to the investor, with a $70+ million valuation in 2017, that would return a 26-time cash-on-cash for your $1 million. At this point, I'd like to leave you with a few key takeaways. Corrosion Solutions, as my colleagues have mentioned at its core, we're a steel protection company. We have a game-changing technology. It's proven, it works, and it is very valuable in the high-temperature, high-pressure environments. We have the initial traction with the clients that we need to get this operation off the ground, and our product will not deplete any existing rare earth materials that are not already abundant. We have several potential home run markets and ample room for growth. We thank you for your time and listening to this. On behalf of my team, thank you. We'd invite any further questions you might have.
Could you elaborate more on your cesium oxide? Cerium oxide. In terms of raw material risk.
Sure. So I think as Brian alluded to, cerium oxide is a rare earth commodity that is mined. We've identified several mines, one in the United States, one in Canada, one in Australia, and there are some in China additionally. Each of these mines have a very large, each of these mines has the ability to meet the worldwide demand for cerium. So if they ramped up production, they could drive the prices down. And as two of these mines are coming online, the Great Western Mines in Canada and Lyra in Australia, that's why there's a projected decrease in the price of cerium oxide going forward.
And in terms of the conversion, I have no idea, when you produce it from the mine into the liquid format, what's the...
So in the mines, they usually would mine it as cerium, but then it gets naturally transferred into cerium oxide, which is the more usable form of the
Who does that? You?
No, we would buy cerium oxide direct.